everyone, you're welcome to today's class with Matthew AGBA. Today's class still promises to be thrilling, and I'm sure you will actually enjoy our class today as we'll be going to something new in continuation from where we stopped in our last class, and I'm sure you will be glad you did. Stay tuned and enjoy our class for today. Thank you. In our class today, we'll be talking about the great stuff, memorizing the great stuff. Previously, we've been talking about the treble stuff. We talked about the bass staff as our previous class, immediate previous class we did. So, but today we'll be talking about the great stuff. It's going to be quite interesting. So, as I said earlier, the great stuff is the combination of the two stuff. Could either be treble, and treble, bass, and it could either be a treble and bass, as the case may be. So we'll be looking at the great stuff as a combination of these two stuff. It has two features. We have the brace, and we also have the middle line, which happens to be the middle C. Usually the great stuff are bound together by the brace sign, which I said earlier. This is the brace sign, and has the middle C as a major indicator when coming across or when dealing with treble and bass staff combination. So we have the middle C dividing the treble and the bass staff together. So we have different names of notes on the line and space, which is not quite different from what we have been talking about in our previous class. All what we need to do in today's class is combine both of them together, which we have been talking about them separately. Mind you that on the bass staff, it usually starts with G. The first line is G for the bass staff. So you start from line G, counts upward. Same on the treble staff, it starts with line E, which is the first line. So those are the major features you need to take note in the course of reading your great stuff. So we have line G, which is the first line. We have A space, B line. We have C space, D line, E space, F line, G space, A line, B space, and middle C. So from the middle C, we also count upward C line, D space, E line, F space, G line, A space, B line, C space, D line, E space, and F. That is a combination of the two staff, the treble and the bass, which is the great stuff we are talking about today. That takes us to something that is quite a thrilling, which is going to be what we call the ledger lines. The ledger lines are short horizontal lines which are drawn below or above the staff to accommodate notes of high and low pitches. So these are the 5 lines of the staff: 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Then we now have additional short lines to accommodate notes which are high. Same also will have additional short lines which are below to accommodate low notes. These are high notes. So for the course of illustration on our slide here, we are looking at notes of high pitches. So these short lines are what we call ledger lines. These lines are there not for us to overrule the generic law of 5 lines and 4 spaces. So these short lines aid in improvising for the great staff or for the staff as well, as the case may be. So that's why we call them ledger lines, short horizontal lines. So in the course of our class today, we've talked about the great staff, looking at the combination of the treble and the bass staff, looking at the major features, the middle C. We looked at the brace sign, and we look at the alphabetical order of reading it. Take notes. Point to take home is on the first line of the bass staff is G. And on the first line of the treble staff is E. So if you have those two, then you can be able to count alphabetically: line space, G, line, A space, B line. Same with treble staff, E line, F space, B line, in that order. Thank you so much for today's class. I'm sure it was quite interesting and informative. Should you have any question, feel free to send them to my various social media handles. I'll be glad to answer. Thank you so much and have a great day.